wrote, because when they write my black ass out of Batman, you know what I do? I write myself Wayans Brothers. When they cancel Wayans Brothers, you know what I do? I sit down and I go write like one of the scary movies.
It was tough to get the same kind of love as my older brothers because we started later. So they was already here.
Set.
And then we come along and we had to work our way up.
When you step into the world of comedy, you're bound to stumble upon the Wayans family sooner or later. This incredibly talented bunch, all 10 of them, have left an indelible mark on the entertainment industry. From hilarious performances in front of the camera to clever work behind the scenes, they've done it all. But now, it looks like Shawn Wayans, one of the family's brightest stars, is ready to spill the beans on what's been happening behind Hollywood's curtains. So, what's the big buzz all about? Well, Shawn is raising eyebrows with his claims that Hollywood has been taking advantage of him and his comedy dynasty. It's like the juicy plot twist we never saw coming in the entertainment industry saga. Now you might be wondering, what exactly did Shawn Wayans expose? What's the juicy scoop that has everyone talking? Well, my friends, the truth is about to unfold, and it's a bombshell that's bound to leave you utterly astonished. So grab your popcorn and get ready for a jaw-dropping revelation that's set to shake Hollywood's foundation.
I'll say that. But you know what? We're here to do a job. We have a purpose, and we're going to continue to sling.
Shawn Wayans, the 9th of 10 siblings, grew up in the lively Fulton House housing projects in Manhattan. The neighborhood's diversity and energy left an indelible mark on his comedic style. He was part of a large family, which meant there was always a mix of sibling rivalry, camaraderie, and shared dreams of making it big in the entertainment industry. He went to a high school where he started off doing well in his studies. But being a teenager isn't easy, and sometimes the influence of friends can become more important than school. He admitted that he hung out with the wrong crowd and did things that made it hard for him to graduate on time. But Shawn was lucky to have a brother named Keenan, who looked out for him. Keenan told him how important it was to finish high school. This advice made Shawn change his mind and decided to get his diploma. Shawn's journey in showbiz started when he was just 17. He appeared in a movie called I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which was also directed by his older brother Keenan. The movie not only kicked off Shawn's career, but also introduced him to the world of comedy, something that would become a big part of his life. During high school, Shawn discovered his love for making people laugh through stand-up comedy. He found joy in making others laugh and was naturally good at it. So at the young age of 17, Shawn began his career as a comedian, setting the stage for a lifelong adventure. With his high school diploma, Shawn Wayans entered the world of comedy and entertainment with a fresh determination. His big break came when he joined the cast of In Living Color, a groundbreaking comedy show created by his brother, Keenan Ivory Wayans. This show had a talented group of comedians known for their funny and sometimes daring humor. Shawn also faced a multifaceted role on In Living Color. He started as a production assistant when he was just 19 years old. As he continued on the show, he became an important part of the team that wrote funny sketches. He worked with family members like Dwayne, Keenan, Damon, Marlon, and his sister Kim. Shawn's ideas added humor to the show. One of his best moments was when he imitated a character from the famous TV show Good Times. But Shawn's journey in showbiz had its share of difficulties and disappointments. When he was starting out in comedy, he learned how challenging the entertainment world could be. In Living Color gave him a chance to show his comedic talents, but it also showed him how tough the industry could be. One challenge was finding a studio that would accept their style of comedy, which sometimes pushed the limits. Many studios weren't sure about their kind of humor. Despite the challenges, Shawn Wayans and his brother Marlon decided to write a comedy classic called Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood.
Locked himself in the room and wrote himself and directed. I wanted to kind of take that same kind of path. So Don't Be a Menace was my I'ma Get You Sucker.
He also starred in a bunch of other films and TV shows. One of the big ones was The Wayans Brothers. It was a major turning point in his career. This was a time of change and new opportunities for him in the entertainment industry. Shawn's talents were not just limited to comedy. He could take on all sorts of roles, showing how versatile he was as an actor. He didn't stick to just one genre. He explored many different roles, from drama to action. One interesting thing he did was provide his voice for a character in the animated series Happily Ever After, Fairy Tales for Every Child. This show gave a fresh perspective to classic fairy tales by making them more diverse and inclusive. Shawn's ability to engage with audiences through voice acting showed his wide appeal. He also ventured into action thriller territory with New Blood, demonstrating his ability to handle intense and physically demanding roles. His willingness to explore various roles showcased his commitment to improving his skills and expanding his acting repertoire. However, it was his return to comedy in the early 2000s that really pushed him to new heights of success. Shawn teamed up with his brother Marlon and older brother Keenan to create the comedy classic Scary Movie. Keenan Ivory Wayans directed it, and Shawn and Marlon wrote the screenplay. This film was a big deal in their careers. Scary Movie was a satirical take on the popular slasher films of the late 90s and early 2000s. It blended parody, irreverence, and social commentary in a unique way that audiences loved. It became a massive hit. Shawn Wayans wasn't just an actor in Scary Movie, he played a big part in creating the story too. This movie wasn't just a regular comedy. It changed how spoofs were done. It made fun of horror films, while also giving a sharp commentary on what you usually see in these movies. Scary Movie went beyond just making people laugh. It set a new standard for humor that satirizes horror film cliches. It was a big hit, and they made sequels. However, making Scary Movie 2 was tough. It came out just a year after the first one, and the team felt a lot of pressure to recreate the first film's success. Shawn Wayans talked about this and how tight schedules can affect how a comedy turns out. Even though the first two Scary Movie films were successful, the Wayans brothers Shawn and Marlon decided to part ways with the series because they didn't agree with the studio. They wanted to focus on projects that matched their artistic ideas. This was a significant change in their careers. After leaving Scary Movie, the brothers got into a bidding war with big studios like Universal, Fox, DreamWorks, and Sony's Revolution Studios. They eventually worked with Revolution Studios. Their first film under this deal was White Chicks, where they played FBI agents disguised as heiresses. The movie got mixed reviews initially, but later gained a cult following and made a lot of money. Another film they did with Revolution was Little Man, a comedy about mistaken identity. It didn't get great reviews either, but made a good amount at the box office. Their last major film project was Dance Flick in 2009, which spoofed popular dance movies. It didn't get great reviews, but made money at the box office. After this, Shawn shifted his focus to stand-up comedy and DJing, things he was familiar with. Shawn Wayans isn't as active in TV and movies now, and part of the reason could be that he's a father of 3. But people also wonder if disagreements with Hollywood about his movies influenced his decision. Despite this, he's still making people laugh through stand-up and enjoying being a DJ. According to Shawn, they decided to step away from making legendary films because they felt that Hollywood elites were giving them a hard time and using their family for their script. One example is their script for The Scary Movie, which according to some has been stolen and used by the Hollywood elites. Shawn's last significant film role was a cameo in the 2009 film Dance Flick, directed by his nephew Damien Dante Wayans. This movie was a spoof of popular dance films like You Got Served, Stomp the Yard, and classics like Save the Last Dance, Step Up, Footloose, and Dirty Dancing, among others. Unfortunately, Dance Flick also received poor reviews from critics, but it managed to make $32 million at the box office, despite having a budget of $25 million. Since then, Shawn has not appeared in a live-action film, and there doesn't seem to be any upcoming projects with a film studio for him. It appears that Shawn decided to take a break from TV and film, possibly due to the challenges and experiences he faced with Hollywood elites. But what are your thoughts on this? Feel free to comment below. And while we wait for more updates, be sure to watch the next video.